apps, and underpass. You are ears, you are eyes, but unless they either crunch short or crunch B, you won't be like active in the round. This player will be just jump swinging here.
That's kind of a shit jump for, man.
The point of this one is that they see you for, you know, a millisecond. It's hard to spot them sometimes, but yeah, so that's the setup. So protocol is, soon as you spot the guy here, you smoke. You then, if you still hear steps, molly. Call your short player back. And at this point you guys are both holding apps. One from here, one from either here or here. However you want to play that. From there, obviously this guy still has his smoke and his molly, so he'll re-smoke if there are still steps. If it goes silent, then you wait, and you only use your util if you hear, or if you see util coming over. Initial B, there is no util. We're saving it for the execute. So your first contact, you are the contact if there is either a dry peek or a rush. This guy then, if that does happen and you've used your util, you'll back off from the jump spot for a time. If they don't push, you come back, you jump spot again. This guy will, if you see players again, this guy will throw. If at any point in the round, regardless of that, at any point in the round, util comes over, like smokes come over B, then you, if you still have your util, will throw a smoke and a molly. If you don't have util anymore, this guy will. That is always the order. The reason is so that you don't both throw it and waste it. That is worst case scenario, you both throw your smoke at the same time. The longer you can delay on B, the better. Hopefully that's all clear. Mid is now Trows. Trows?
Okay.
You're playing mid now. Mid protocol is a bit different, so we effectively only have one A player early round. We have one mid player in window, just literally holding top mid, and we have one con player. So the con player's job is to get out con fast early round, and just be kind of hovering around here. The reason for that is, should this be smoked, I do not want the mid player, I do not want you to back off. I want you to dive through it, unless your short player has called that there were steps underpass.
Because it's a shit.
I can also molly window if they're continually smoking, and then
This is early round I'm talking about. So if it's late enough that they could have shifted underpass without this guy hearing anything, then you don't bother. But if it's like immediately start of the round, they're smoking window, you dive out, and you'll be fine because this guy's holding wider anyway.
Yeah.
And from this point onwards, you are holding, and this guy's anti-flash, so he'll be just around this corner. So you're holding with the AWP. If you take a fight, he swings. If you get flashed, he swings. If you pretty much whatever, he swings. And if after, you know, a few seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, they haven't done anything with that mid control, you get back into con and you head back round into window room and wait for that smoke to dissipate, and this guy just holds underpass.
Alright.
Reasoning, I know I'm going through this quickly, but
Yeah, I know.
reasoning for that, all of this is that you don't have to think too hard about anything. At least early round, you can kind of know exactly what to do immediately, because the last thing you want is to be spending time thinking, oh, do I push it, don't I push it, and then when you do push it, it's too late. So this guy, if it's a late round window smoke, this guy's job is then immediately to somehow delay this. So he'll either smoke underpass. Oh, I haven't really explained this, have I? So this guy is holding here early, and then as soon as kind of the window is up, So after that 5-10 seconds, if they haven't done the early round window smoke, he then backs up and watches underpass. At this point, you've got one here, you've got one here. This is kind of your setup. And if the window smoke comes in while he's watching this, he then smokes or mollies, whichever he has.
Kite.
Yeah.
Kumpa has a good flash for underpass from short. If he's playing there, would it be okay if he hears them to flash it and I could jump down to get one quick pick and then spear, providing that mid's being covered?
That's a play you can call between yourselves.
Okay. I'm just checking you wouldn't stab me over it.
I would not, no. This is just protocols for like your absolute default. If you want to stray from these, feel free, but most of the time you should be doing this.
Yeah.
But yeah, he then throws his util underpass to delay that. This is okay, no. So you then dive out, and he swings at the same time. If there's no one there, again the AWP is holding, and he's holding here again. For them to push through it. And you've basically got the exact situation as the early round situation, but just with utility down underpass. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So that leaves one player, that leaves the A player. And this A player is going to have, what's the time? This A player is going to have some effect on the mid player, or the connector player. The A player is playing around default. So you have choices here. You can either play default box, so around kind of here, be sneaking around, you know, taking these peaks, or you can play under here, or if you're being sneaky beaky, you can just sit here. This I don't suggest unless you're on kind of an eco or something, but this is okay with this setup because no one, like, if they're sneaking up to kind of this point, that's no great disaster. Because there's no one who's got their backs exposed to it, if you see what I mean. Like, usually the reason you wouldn't play this is because you'd be baiting a teammate by doing this. Like, they'd be in a one on however many as they push the site. But in this situation, there's no one else actually facing, so you're okay to do that. Although, for the same reason, you'll probably have a harder fight. And that's probably very much a one and done spot.
And people check it very frequently.
They do, yeah. So something you can do is this spot, which is basically the same thing. But this does mean that they can go over stairs, and your con player needs to be aware of that.
Be careful, people will pre-fire that as well.
Play this however you want. Useful utility since you're basically alone, because as soon as these... if you hear an execute coming in, obviously you alert these two players. And, okay, this is where things get a bit interesting. So if there's a standard A exit, in this situation, obviously these two players are useless. This is when con player comes up, window player comes out, and they boost over the smoke to watch Palace. Okay. So until they've got to there, you're just holding Palace from default. They might be coming out here, and if they come out really fast, you'll get shot in the side. And at that point, we're in a 4v5 retake, and it's probably worth saving. But just hold Palace as best you can. Once they're boosted and watching it, and you know no one's come out Palace, you can then shift your attention to taking advantageous fights here. By the way, when I say boost, the AWP is on top.
Yeah, I guess that.
That should have been obvious, but yeah.
Short player also needs to make sure con doesn't push, please. That would be nice.
Yes, that's short player's job.
I'd very much like not to get shot in the back.
But yeah, so then you can change your focus to here, and obviously if you get flashed, you're safe to duck down here. That just means that you don't have to worry about this angle even though everything's smoked off. I would like... Okay, what was I gonna... Yeah. So, where does everyone currently understand that they're playing? On our CT default.
A site.
I'm the big window man, or the mid man, or the jungle man.
So
whatever things
I think we're pretty much already there. I would like QB jump peeking on B. I would like Rowie on short. I would like Kumpa A site. I would like to be in con, and I would like Trows to be window. Is everyone happy with that?
You got it, big man.
I might. The reason I'm showing everyone all of these is that I might switch things up depending on economic situations and who has armor and like weapons and stuff. But I'll tell you at the time. Is everyone happy?
You got it.
I was gonna show you, Kemper. I was gonna show you util. So ways you can do stuff. One thing that some people do, I'm sure you don't do it, but some people try and molly this and they just bounce it off. That's suicide. So the way you molly this is you aim around about just literally the edge of it like that. And that molly's top of it. To molly ramp, it's really easy to miss this without having to peek ramp, but that's the normal one. You just aim below this bollard thing on the wall and run through it. Obviously if you're playing under here, this is a pop flash for the ramp players. That's a really popular one. From here you can also molly palace. So the way you do that is you go in, there's a little corner here, and you'd aim just here, I think. So you aim just at, like just above this corner. That's a molly for palace. In fact, you could probably right at the corner.
I do it from the other side and just run through it. So it mollies deep